Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and I'm going to be reading your tea leaves today. This is a horoscope for Scorpio. If Scorpio is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, so if you've been here before, you've seen my setup, and this is a new one. So we're going to go with it. We're going to see how it works out. Trying to figure out the best way to kind of get my own space so I'm not having to break down and set up every single day. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, let's see what is in store for you, Scorpio. All right. Now I have to face this a kind of different direction now. It's a little different for me. Okay, so let's see what we have. I'm gonna pull it down just so we can kind of see it a little further down. Sometimes this one's really, okay. Well, trying to see this formation in a way that it does not look super phallic, but it does when I'm looking at it a little further away. So let's see. Now up here, oh my goodness, let me see. I'm sorry. I'm trying to really figure out how I can do this. Okay, so I want to look at this one first. Okay, and to me, it looks pretty phallic. Okay, I'm just going to admit that when it's rotated in different directions. But the thing is, it also looks like this kind of angel figure, the wings, and then kind of a robe, and it looks like it's holding up kind of some kind of weapon or something. And then we have this other one over here, same kind of angel wings, maybe more like a fairy. I don't know, kind of some kind of wings, right? And the two legs. And then it's also holding up some kind of weapon, right? And they both look like they're going for this thing in the center of the bowl here. Okay, and so I want to look and see, what are they doing? What is going on here? What is this battle that's happening for you, Scorpio? It looks like you have a lot of it looks like there's a lot of aggression going on, okay? I feel like something, obviously something has gone on in the last couple weeks since we last talked that really has you kind of going to war with yourself. And I say that because when something is in the center of the bowl, like this is dead center here. This is always related to the very core of your being, okay? And it seems to me that something has just gone on that you are really just in a whole lot of turmoil. And I kind of just want to look at this. I want to turn this a little bit to see, where are we? And it really, I'm seeing almost like a J, it looks like, here, kind of a J. But the sense that I really am getting is that there's been some kind of, it seems like, shift into a depressive state, maybe. But this is more than just a melancholy. This is more than being blue. It feels like there's been some situation has arisen that has caused some kind of paranoia. And I keep getting the sense of of the word like spying, to be spied on, or to feel like you have to kind of keep an eye on somebody else. And I think that this has really been kind of the thing that has, I wonder if this is a relationship being dissolved, a friendship, a marriage, some kind of maybe like a cheating situation, or some kind of, some kind of lying going on, or just mistrust. I feel like you are really in a place of not being very trusting of whoever this person is. It feels like it feels like a feminine. I almost kind of wonder, and I wonder because I pulled this card today, okay? And for me, often, the Queen of Discs is, well, it's very earthy, related to Virgo. It reminds me of the Mother always, okay? It's the watery part of the earth element, okay? And this is like a really kind of kind, caring, supportive, domestic, just kind of holistic type of feminine archetype, okay? And it doesn't have to be a mother, but in my mind, I always relate it to like this ideal of a mother, okay? Not super exciting, but very consistent, routine, almost like they can anticipate your needs before you do. Just very locked in, a lot of just a very deep connection. That's how I experience at least the more positive aspects of this card. So I kind of wonder, almost, is this somebody who you have a relationship with, who is in that kind of maternal position for you, or somebody who you are a mother for, or a maternal or caretaker, maybe, and you don't have to be, identify as female or as a mother, but just a caretaker who provides some of the traditional attributes of the mother archetype, okay? And we could get into a long discussion about, how kind of misguided some of, the the different aspects being applied to mother, father, or whatever. And I agree with you. I think it's, but this is kind of like the system that we're working off of right now, until, I am better at creating my own, my own language. But I think something has really gone down. I feel like, now, I don't feel like you are necessarily fighting with this person. I don't feel like this person, like you've gone to war with them. But I feel like whatever has gone on has really, really affected you and your interpersonal world. I feel like you feel, almost like the sense of, was anything real? Were they ever being honest with me? Something very fundamental has shifted, and I feel like you're really questioning your experience with this person, your relationship with this person. I feel like you have tried to really, kind of step back and rationalize, be logical, Try to temper your feelings. You know, think it over. Try not to be too angry, and, you know, just sort through some of whatever is going on. But I feel like it's so overpowering that you are at war with yourself. Okay. And I feel like you're having just overwhelming, rushing sensations of, you know, I feel like mourning, anger, like an angst, resentfulness, also being angry with yourself because you feel like you've been fooled. I just think that whatever has happened, this is really a big life event for you. Okay. And maybe other people wouldn't consider this as important. I don't think it's a death. I don't think that it is a marriage or divorce. Okay, exactly. But I think that it's the things that might be surrounding something like that. But I think that, you know, it just, the big loss here is that your vision of somebody, the way that you have perceived somebody, the way that you have lived in understanding of this person has been shifted very abruptly. And that can feel like a death in itself, because you've lived in a world where somebody has been a thing to you. They have appeared to be something. They have appeared to be a certain person. Their personality has, you know, been etched in your mind. But now suddenly you're seeing them so differently. Okay. And this is difficult. And I think that, you know, when this happens with somebody who is one of our people, one of our close people, somebody who is part of our inner circle, somebody who is, you know, family, beloved, mentor, you know, these people that are almost in a fixed position for us, when they do something, say something, or you find out they've behaved in a way, even if it's in the past, it can be just heartbreaking, okay? And it can be very difficult. So I really empathize with you. I think that this is one of the things in life that is unavoidable, because we all will at some point be disappointed by somebody. We will at some point have our, I don't want to say it's an illusion, but it kind of is. Our illusion of how we perceive somebody will be broken. Their mask will, you know, fall off, or, you know, we'll have a moment where we see part of them that they've been hiding, or, you know, maybe they're not even hiding it, but we just choose not to witness that part of them. We choose not to, you know, be honest with ourselves that they can be, you know, a dynamic person with lots of faults, as we all are, right? So whatever happened, I think that it's really important that you are very kind to yourself. You're very slow with what's going on. You take a step, you breathe, work on those breathing exercises. If you have to disengage from this person, from the people who are tied to this person that are in your life, then you take that break for yourself, okay? You need to get yourself together, figure out how you're going to move forward, do some processing. And there's no, you know, there's no time, there's no, you know, amount of time that is right or wrong, okay? I would be very careful about what you say, what you do, only because we can ourselves destroy relationships when we're in a reactive state, okay? And maybe with time, you're going to be more understanding, more accepting. So just be mindful, okay? And as I tell my daughter always, we treat people better than they treat us, okay? And let me say, if this is a situation of abuse or some kind of just terrible thing has come to light, it could be any number of things. This does not apply to that, okay? I will not condone any kind of abuse or, shield some kind of predator or anything like that. So if it's something like that, disregard what I'm saying. If it's something else, okay, something human, cheating, whatever, financial things, whatever, there are any number of things that could be so terribly shocking, but it doesn't cross over into the abuse level, right? Then we're going to try to treat them better than they have treated us or somebody else or whatever, okay? And I don't know, it's just it's my thought in life, and it's not, it is very self-serving. Let me just be honest with that. But, I can sleep at night knowing that I'm not hurting people, with my words, with my actions. Okay. So we do try to treat people better. We try to be more understanding than sometimes we should. Okay. But not to a point where it is making you unsafe or it's very detrimental to you. Okay. Obviously these are, things that, we don't allow, boundaries. We need those boundaries with everybody, including our spouses, our romantic relationships, with our children, with our parents, with our family, coworkers, everybody. Anybody who's, in direct contact with our life, we must abide those boundaries and set them for ourselves. So the most important though is you must be nice. You must be nice to yourself. You must be caring to yourself. You must be understanding as much as you can, okay? And I know it's more difficult in practice than me just saying that to you. But I see my goodness, I just see such a scene here. And I've been talking about the same one for the last 20 minutes, basically. So I really am telling you, even before I started this reading, I have to say, I came into it having some real distinct impressions, almost a sensation of smell, like I don't know, like a musk or just kind of, almost like a musk on the edge of like, sweating, like an anxiety, like and like I get, not that I actually am smelling that, but I get these kind of impressions in my mind of things like that. And I know it maybe sounds silly, but I've only recently even admitted that to anybody. Now I'm admitting it to the internet, to all of you. But yeah, I just had this feeling that this was going to be something very intense, like a very intense, not my regular kind of readings. There's something very profound happening here, and it's very delicate, I would say. Okay, so, it is really, really, really imperative that you take time for yourself. Okay. And I love this little image we have here. And this one is this is the buffalo or bison. I get it, and I know better. This is the bison, okay? And we have a nice bird flying overhead. The bison, which happens to be, I am Choctaw. My family is on my paternal side. So I have my father, through his visions when I was young, would see my totem animal as a bison. Okay. And a lot of people know them as buffalo, American buffalo. And I think that's, what is that called? A misnomer. And anyway, so I have a strong relationship with this particular symbol. And that for me, this is the idea of being slow to your emotions. Let them flow over you. Go slowly. Be very intentional about your thinking, about your movements. I've talked about this probably in another reading. These animals are so large, right? And they have to eat a lot to take in the calories they need to move those big bodies over all of the land that they do. So they're intentional. They're very intentional beings, and they shape the landscape around them. They are so large that they actually, put grooves into the ground, change how things grow in the paths that they move to feed and water and sleep and breed and all of those things, okay? And it's so important, I believe, right now for you to really take on this kind of just mindset of some contemplation, trying to find that serene place, tempering those overwhelming feelings that are coming. Try to disengage, thinking directly about the person that is involved, okay? And just trying to get to a place of acceptance within yourself, okay? So that's first. And then way later on, we'll start working on, whatever's happened, accepting it with this person, for, finding some form of forgiveness, or at least releasing those emotions, the situation, and, moving on and growing. But that doesn't have to happen right now, okay? And now with this bird over top, I think that, and where it's positioned, because this is in the mind space, this is in the spiritual. So this work where you're going to be really focusing on coming into yourself, slow to those movements, slow to those reactions, it's going to release your spirit to fly, to soar, to bring in the resources that you need to get through this, okay? And I think that's so important, okay? And I think that's going to be very beneficial for moving through this whole thing, okay? And now let's see what else we have here. Already taken up a lot of time talking about this, and I think it's just, this is really so much of the whole reading because it's such a big deal. I mean, I think that this is really just taken over the whole thing for you. Now I see here there's kind of it looks like a bull's head. I feel like there's a Taurus person, and this is in your mind, in the mind, physical, and in the mind, emotional, psychic area. I feel like there's a Taurus reaching out to you. I think that, or somebody that has the characteristics of like a bull type person. So like a leader, somebody strong, maybe a mentor of sorts, somebody who you can lean on, but also possibly a Taurus sign. Somebody that has a prominent Taurus placement. Okay, and I think that they're reaching out to you, and I think that this is a person that you can probably trust and lean on during this period. I think that you can communicate with them and share your feelings, and I think they probably will have some good advice for you. I think this is probably, hopefully, a safe person. Okay. All right. And now, well, let me just spin it one more time. We spent so much time on that one aspect. I want to see if I can. We have some more birds here. Right here. Okay. Oh, and I just poked it. But we had a bird. I poked it with the thing. Oh, yes. Okay, so another J. I had pointed out the other J. Now we have another, and this is in the physical realm. So I think there's a J person. It was very large here. It's a little smaller here. So I feel like this is a repeating of the same person. Okay, and this might be that Taurus person, or because it's so central, I feel like this is somebody who is related to the situation in some way. And I actually see another J right there. So I feel like, so we have 1, 2, and then where did the other one go? Oh, yeah, this big one right here. Okay, so we have a few J's, and I feel like they're swirling around in your head, okay? But they're also in your physical life. So this is a person, J name, J description or descriptor, or like in a career path or something about them they're heavily involved in that starts with a J, okay? And let me see. So I see here we have this, it looks kind of a side profile and then a little bird. And it looks like this little bird is kind of talking. And I get the impression that this is whatever's been going on. Okay, we're all on social media and we all know when something big goes on in our families, our friend groups, or whatever, in our community, people are probably going to be posting something, even if it's like vague posting, passive aggressive posting, whatever it is. Okay. And I think there's a little bit of a gossipy vibe going on, some chit chat happening. And I think that it's really important for you maybe to take a break from social media. Maybe, just be, if not the break, just be really mindful about who you are getting your information from, who you're talking to about things, what you're saying, because I feel like there's somebody in the mix that is just a gossip. Okay, and so, and also, just talking for the sake of talking. And we all know when something's going on, are those people who just love to break bad news, love to come around, getting any little tidbit they can, and then they play that game of telephone, and everything gets so distorted, and it just, throws fuel on the fire. And so I just want you to be mindful of that. I want you to be careful with who you talk to, just because you're going to get pulled deeper into these like overwhelming emotions. Okay. And I think, the best practice, especially if it's something so core to your life, to somebody so fundamental to you, it's best not to get into those gossipy modes with especially like family members and stuff. Because those are people, usually you can't really, in a year and a half when things have blown over and like 3 other things have happened with different people, you're still going to be sitting down to dinner with these people, seeing them at graduation parties and so on. So it's better to, refrain from engaging in that kind of frivolous talking and whatever chatter. I think the next 4 weeks are going to be hard for you. They're going to, not hard. Okay. I think it's going to be, a test for you to get through some of this stuff. But I really think that as as you start to process some of this, it's, you know, you're going to come to terms with whatever happened. And I don't know exactly what it was, but I do know that it really has hurt you. Okay. I would be very surprised if this is something that you didn't have some kind of little inkling of somewhere in your head. I wonder if that's why you're so upset, especially with yourself, because maybe you kind of had like a thought about it once or twice or whatever, and you just put it out of your mind. Okay. And so, maybe it just, you know, it has become kind of, I don't know, guilt or just angry with yourself for not being proactive beforehand. But I think that the real thing here is you need to just kind of let go of a lot of that stuff. At least save it for later to go over. I think just processing, like going through the like physical parts of lessening your anxiety, doing some stimming. If you don't know what stimming is, go look it up, okay? They are different kinds of behaviors that we have that can help you, you know, regulate your emotion, your ups and downs, anxieties, kind of circled thinking, loops in your mind where you're just thinking about the thing over and over and over and over. And so look up stimming, okay? And so one popular example of like stimming would be like those fidget spinner kind of things, or like popping little fidget things, or, you know, for me, it's like kind of, I like to go like this, or, you know, I don't know. I have different things that I do, to help with my anxiety. I have in my life at points had really bad social anxiety and general anxiety. And so things like changing the temperature. I talked about this in a video the other day, a reading. When you're having big feelings, a good thing to do is to take a cool shower to change your body temperature. Okay. Go outside. In the northern hemisphere, it's a little cooler now. It's winter. So you can go outside and be in the cold for a few minutes and deep breaths, and change your body temperature. And that will help relieve some of those larger emotions, okay, or panic, or, you know. But also, if you are experiencing panic attacks, you know, you've never had them, or you have and they're just way worse than usual, or you're having any kinds of self-harm thoughts, or, you know, anything beyond that, please go call your doctor, call your support people. There is the number 988 in America. That is a support number to find some assistance for mental health crises, and that's a good resource. Okay, and I mention it a lot about the therapists seeking any kind of help, especially when you have a big life event that feels like it's out of your control. Okay, so it's better to go in and speak to somebody, and get it sorted out, and it be nothing, and you can go home and, you know, you've calmed down and stuff, than to wait and it gets so out of your ability to manage, right? And we don't want that ever. Okay. So, other than that, you know, I think that it's gonna be okay though. I think this thing is going to, you are, you know, Scorpio, you guys are strong, okay? And, I think that, it's also okay to be vulnerable, and, we all go through things in life that really hit us out of nowhere, and, it takes some time to manage those things, process some of those things, and please ask for help if you need it. talk to people. Don't do this by yourself. That's important. Okay. You know, I hate when I hate when I have these readings that seem so, I mean, they're just, you know, I can feel the energy of it. The atmosphere of this reading for me is heavy. So I imagine it's very heavy for you. Okay. All right. So I just want to, I have to do my little thing that I always say. If this resonated with you, if this reading spoke to you, please think about liking the video. It helps me to get into the algorithm. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell thing. It will give you notifications for when new videos come out. Please leave a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know how the readings resonate with you. Let me know how you think I'm doing. If you're seeing any kind of symbols in the cup that are speaking to you, I'd love to hear what those are. And you know, if you are on Facebook and you want to follow the page, I have a page there. It's Ulatili Readings. I also do private readings. And if you're interested in booking a private reading, there are instructions in the description and you can just go ahead and check that out. Okay. Other than that, you know, I'm sorry this was a heavy read. I apologize, but you know, sometimes it's just like that with the readings. I can't go into it with any kind of you know, set idea of what it's going to be. It just kind of reveals itself to me. And, you know, I wish that it weren't always, you know, sometimes, I mean, most of the time they're pretty fine. They're, you know, pretty happy and we just kind of talk and here we go. You know, we just chat here on my video with myself. But then sometimes these really kind of heavy reads do come in. Okay. All right. Well, Scorpio, please check out the videos for your other placements. Come back in 12 days for the next Scorpio. I'm really interested to see how things are for the next reading. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.